This is WBA Super Middleweight Champion Andre Ward, and you're with Leave It in the Ring Radio.
Hola, soy Sergio Maravilla Martínez, esto es liveinthering.com.
Hola, soy Saúl El Canelo Álvarez y estás en Live the Ring Radio.
Bradley, and you're liveinthering.com.
Este que es Soto Caras, el renuente. Escúcheme por Live in the Ring Radio.
Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Victor Ortiz at liveinthering.com. So take care, guys.
How you doing? You're with Abner Mares, and you're right here with Leave It in the Ring Radio.
It's fun. Why not?
Oh, dude, you got it. I mean, every freaking video that's out there right now that I see on any social platform is the conspiracy theorists are out on full force saying that it was rigged. Look at the way Willie drops his hand. They do the wink. You know, like, it's just so much. There's a contract that, you can't knock out Jake Paul. Zach, you were with Jake. Has he witnessed it? Has he sat back and looked at like what he's created, like almost like the Joker in the Joker movie, where he just sits back and he's like staring out the window of the back of a police vehicle's car, and he's just watching all this chaos? Is he doing the same thing here?
Yeah, I mean, I think we kind of realized after the Robinson fight what this could all turn into.
Mm-hmm.
And, even back then, Jake said he was going to release a documentary. That he put on ice because he realized how crazy it could be if he just dragged it out through his entire career. And, like, even in this, it's like a movie.
Right.
I mean, if you saw this at a movie, right? Like a social media kid gets fight a UFC champion, knocks him out cold. He's unconscious for 2 minutes. There's guys in the crowd trying to get in. I mean, it's crazy. So,
right.
Pretty funny. He's got them on strings, Pinocchio style. And, Jake's making more money per fight than they have in their entire career. So why would he go over to the UFC? It makes no sense. And if you're scared of someone who's been boxing for 3 years, when you've been boxing, I think Masvidal has pro boxing matches. It's just kind of sad to me that that's what they have to resort to when Jake's making more money than they ever have, They should really be calling out Dana White for not letting them get out of their contract for one fight.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, I completely agree with that, Brian.
Why Dana's not paying him.
Right. I always hear from guys that are, that watch the UFC and / MMA, and, they'll tell me we got to start a union for them and we got to do this for that. And, when we think about boxing, we say the same things. There's got to be a union for fighters, for health care, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But there's a different light that shines on the UFC fighters because they're underpaid. And if one thing that Jake Paul is shedding more light on, when Jake Paul starts screaming Muhammad Ali, he's kind of like the Muhammad Ali for the UFC fighters here because he's shedding light on the fact that these guys are not getting paid and they're being used and hustled by the great Dana White.
He should be their hero.
Yeah, they should have a shrine of Jake Paul in their locker room before they go to the fight.
Like he's their Cesar Chavez.
During the match.
What was that, Zach?
I just want to see a live shot of Dana during the match.
Oh, I know.
Oh, yeah.
He's losing his shit. He's losing his
shit.
And he's watching.
Yeah.
Has to be. They've been asking, he was like, Jake, I'll bet $1 million Jake won't beat this guy. He's a seasoned champ. And then Jake knocks him out. He's like, that looked fishy to me. And then, it's just hilarious. That Nunez would beat Jake. Nunez just lost to a 135-pound woman. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Jake flatlining 200-pound man. Like,
where's Joe Rogan at, when it's needed, for him to start pressing somebody out there from the UFC spring team.
He's a Jake fan,
Yeah, I know. I've heard that. And
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He's got to jump back. Like, Dana's got to pull him back and say, hey, like, slow down. Start talking about our fighters, how they could beat him. But it doesn't need to happen, because it's apples and oranges, right? Because I tell you what, I've always said this. Fighters need a good publicist. And in a lot of ways, when you see like Oscar De La Hoya and like Dana White, it's almost like they need a good publicist because sometimes they let their mouths get them to a lot of heat with fans, Tweeted it out. I said, hey, Chavez Jr. next. I don't know, Hey, and you know what? Here's the thing, too. Going back with MMA community losing their shit and putting up these videos of him cheating and, this is completely rigged. They're not giving him credit that the fact is that he took this rematch in late notice. It was Tom Fury. Tommy Fury was supposed to be the guy to step in. Was supposed to be the guy. Exactly. I thought the fight was completely canceled. I didn't think he was going to move forward. But as we mentioned last week's show here, Brian, we said Jake Paul's fighting more often than Ryan Garcia. Who would have ever thought?
Jake fought 4 times in 13 months. Really, the only guy more active is Canelo. He's more active than Fury, more active than Joshua. All these guys, way more active than Garcia. He's more active than, Jake literally is fighting every 3 months. And the ironic part is, he didn't have an amateur career. He's not even getting time in between camps to work on his craft. So I think if he takes more time off and actually gets to get his skills in a better position, he's really going to start messing these guys up.
Man, big credit to BJ Flores, man. Who would ever thought that BJ Flores would have been able to keep this guy going and giving him the good advice for a guy that just picked up the sport 2 years ago. And kudos to the management that they're doing, because they tapped into something that is driving people to want to see this kid get knocked out. You can't imagine how many, my kids are 20, 21, and, to 24. And their circle of friends are just waiting and dying to see whether or not this guy continues the streak or gets knocked out, right? And I tell you what, Zach, you get in his ear and you tell him, keep the goddamn UFC guys going. Keep them jumping over. Get them to wake up a little bit more about the fact that they need to get paid a little better. And tell them that as a hardcore boxing fan, for a lot of us hardcore, we're loving every moment of the meltdown that happens immediately after he knocks out or he beats one of these guys. It's just hilarious.
Yeah,
that's the best part.
Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros,